Welcome back to Fantasy Football Today, presented by BetMGM. I'm Jamie, that's Heath, that's Robert. We're taking a look at the roster trends of the moves that you made on CBSSports.com leagues on Tuesday night. We're going to show you the most added, most dropped, and most traded players. Remember, trade deadline is coming up in a lot of leagues, so we may not be talking trades much longer. But if you have the opportunity to make some trades, check out Dave Richards' trade chart on CBSSports.com and send us your trades on any social media using the hashtag AskFFT. Let's show you the most added players from the moves made on Tuesday night. We're going to show some defenses and some kickers. And remember, it's 6 teams on a bye. So lots of moving parts here with the players that you could be picking up. So here's the list of the most added players. So you got the Buccaneers DST, great ad taking on the Giants. You got the Commanders DST in a great matchup taking on the Dolphins. And some tight ends along with Anthony Richardson, Amir Abdullah. We'll talk about that in a minute. But the tight ends really, I think, are a fascinating additions here, Heath, because you got Jonnu Smith coming off a 6-catch, 100-yard, 2-touchdown game. Will Dissley's been hot lately, coming off a huge game against the Bengals last week. Which of the 2 tight ends do you prefer going into week number 12 as the Dolphins take on the Patriots and the Chargers take on the Ravens?
So I do prefer Jonnu Smith, and it's not just because he had a 6-catch, 100-yard performance. He had 31 targets in his last 5 games before that, averaging 6 targets per game. He's really kind of taken Jalen Waddle's role as the number 2 pass catcher. At least he and Devon Achane have done that. And so I like Jonnu Smith just a little bit, but I'll say that this is a very strange week. I can't ever remember. There are 3 tight ends in my top 12 that were widely available on the waiver wire. Smith, Dissley, and then Luke Schoonmaker also filling in for Jake Ferguson. So I don't want to spend too much on any of these guys. I'm happy with any of the 3 as a starter.
Robert, what about you? Which one do you prefer, Dissley or Jonnu Smith?
I prefer Jonnu Smith as well. I mean, Dissley's had a good couple weeks. I know him very well from his time in Seattle, but Jonnu Smith has really become a huge part of this Miami Dolphins offense and a huge sort of security blanket for Tua Tagovailoa since he's come back from his concussion. So if I had to trust one of the 2 rest of season, I would go Jonnu Smith.
Yeah, I think rest of season I would as well. For this week, though, I actually prefer Dissley just because of the matchup. The Ravens have just been so bad against opposing tight ends. I think Dissley's going to have an opportunity to still be that guy in the seam for Justin Herbert. I love what Jonnu Smith has done, and clearly you see the spike performance that he can give you when he's giving you 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. But it's very similar. Jonnu Smith, last 4 games, 7.5 PPR points per game at minimum. 4 of his last 5, 7.5 PPR points per game. Will Dissley, 8 points in 4 of his last 5. Both guys have games over 16 PPR points per game. It's just identical how they're performing here. So it may be a situation where there could be sustainable rest of season, but for this week, they're great replacement options. When you're down to Kyle Pitts, when you're down in Evan Ingram, when you're down the Bills guys, they could be great fill-ins and maybe even a flex option if your tight end situation is good, knowing that, again, all the talent that is missing. Robert, when you look at the Raiders situation, we don't know the health of Zamir White or Alexander Mattison. Amir Abdullah, more of a pass catcher than a featured option. They do have Dylan Lobby, the rookie who only has 1 carry for a fumble on the season. If there is no Madison, there is no White. Do you have interest in Abdullah taking on a tough Broncos run defense?
Oh, absolutely. I think so, especially because of what he can do in the passing game, like you mentioned. And, he's the running back that's most used to the system in Las Vegas right now also. So I think he'd be a good flex option for this week against Denver.
Yeah, it's such a difficult thing when you're going through waivers and you've got 2 different running backs that we really have no idea if they're going to play or not. But if you told me that both Madison and White were out, I would move Abdullah up my rankings quite a bit. I think he'd be right in that Jalen Warren range as a top 30 type running back.
And if you are looking at it from who benefits for Abdullah, you'd rather see Madison sit than White sit, because Madison plays, he's going to do similar things in passing out situations. If White plays and Madison is out, then Abdullah has that 3rd down role almost all to himself. And let's face it, the Raiders are probably chasing points. So we could see Abdullah 3 catches, 16 yards, and a touchdown against the Dolphins last week. Let's show you the most drop list here on CBSSports.com leagues from Tuesday night. And these are always, interesting with players on a bye, who you're moving on from, who still has the potential to help you. Not a lot on this list, I think, that people are going to look at and say, okay, I need to hold on to these players. Robert, are you surprised that Deontay Johnson just has done nothing for the Ravens? And do you think he'll do anything for Baltimore rest of season?
I am shocked. It is really shocking that Deontay Johnson's production has been pretty much 0 for the Ravens this season. Now, they tried to give him the football last week, just didn't work out. I'm shocked to see him on this list, though. He's such a talented player, and he may be a guy that you may need bye weeks, things of that nature. Guys get injured. Deontay Johnson, to me, is a guy that you would want to lean on. I think he'll come along as he gets used to this offense eventually.
See, Heath, if you had Deontay Johnson on your team, you could have traded him to Robert and maybe gotten something, better in return. The George Pickens trade, you might have been able to work something out.
I wanted Pickens.
He wanted the other guy that was associated with the Steelers at one point in time. Yeah, Deontay Johnson, I think it's going to take probably a Zay Flowers injury to see him perform, or maybe a Rashad Bateman injury to see him perform at a high level. So understandably why fantasy managers are moving on. Let's take a look at the most traded players, CBSSports.com leagues. Again, the trade deadline is potentially this week for some of you. So take a look at some of the players on the move here and the impact of what could happen here. We've talked about this a lot. I'll ask both of you this. Heath, I'll start with you. Isaiah Pacheco, we don't know if he's going to return this week. What happens to Kareem Hunt? And could you start both of them against the Panthers? They're that bad against the run.
I think against the Panthers, you might be able to start both of them if Pacheco is back. I would expect it's pretty close to a 50-50 split. The first week Pacheco's back, maybe slightly moves towards 60-40 Pacheco as the season goes on. I will not like either one of these guys as much as we've liked Hunt without Pacheco.
Yeah, I think you can start both of these guys this week against Carolina. But again, as the season progresses, Isaiah Pacheco is going to be the lead dog. I do think, though, Kareem Hunt will get his opportunities, particularly in the red zone, goal line area. So I think he's a guy that you could hold on to just in case for those situations. He'll get in the end zone.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. And this injury has been tough for guys to come back. You think about Tony Pollard 2 years ago. He said it was week 11 of the 2023 season when he started to feel like himself. Tank Dell, we know, has been sort of hit or miss this season coming off the broken leg. So Pacheco, hopefully he will be fine once he steps back on the field. But the Chiefs may ease him in, knowing how important he is and what he can mean for them to make that third Super Bowl run. So we may not see the best of Isaiah Pacheco. Kareem Hunt may still have some value. CeeDee Lamb was on this list. And Robert, I'll start with you, and then Heath, you could follow. Are we hoping for CeeDee Lamb to finish out the season and still be productive? Or at some point, do you think he shuts it down because he could say the shoulder injury that he suffered 2 weeks ago could be a problem? But obviously, we know it's Cooper Rush and this offense is struggling. So would you be trying to trade for CeeDee Lamb, especially if you can get him cheap?
I think that he'll still be productive rest of season. In fact, all right, I'll admit in another league, I was offered CeeDee Lamb for Zay Flowers, and I took the trade, basically. And so there was another player, there were two other players in it, but that was basically the trade. And I thought to myself, I said, man, am I making a bad decision here? No, I think CeeDee Lamb, he's still the #1 target in Dallas. He's still going to get the targets in Dallas. And if healthy, he'll still produce at a high level, in my opinion.
100%. He was 16 fantasy points per game back in 2022 with Cooper Rush. He would have been 15 fantasy points if it wasn't for the sun in his eye in their first game together. He had 18 fantasy points last week. This is a #1 top 12 wide receiver rest of season.
Yeah, you just got to hope that he stays on the field. Again, they're struggling right now. Does he want to go through this? He looks so frustrated on the sideline on almost every play, whether it's at himself not making a play to help his team, but mostly I'm sure Cooper Rush. I do fear what could happen if Trey Lance does get the opportunity to start, because that may be even worse for CeeDee Lamb based on what we've seen from Cooper Rush. Like Heath said, he was good with them in 2022.
Not frustrated enough to make a music video after the game.
Well, okay. Different story, but we'll see how things go for Lamb rest of season. All right, let's answer one of your questions before we take a break here. Thank you again for sending them to us using the hashtag AskFFT. Trade J.K. Dobbins for James Cook in half PPR. Heath, who would you rather have, Dobbins or Cook rest of season?
I will take James Cook rest of season. I was very disappointed in his snap share last week, but I still think Cook's the right play.
Yeah, this is a tough one, but I got to agree with Heath on this one. James Cook rest of season.
Just got to play the health card. Hopefully J.K. Dobbins stays healthy. He has passed his season high in carries for his career, passing what he did in his rookie season, but hopefully James Cook stays healthy as well. I would take Cook also in half PPR. All right, we take a break. When we come back, it's time for our running back roundtable. We'll talk about some important discussions at the running back position. We'll talk about some older running backs and can they still be successful. That's next here on Fantasy Football Today.